Hello and welcome to Lift the Cup Fantasy, or LTC Fantasy as some call it. Today's episode is our waiver wire episode where we're going to look at some goalies, some defensemen, and some forwards to hopefully help you out, not just this week, but in upcoming weeks. Also wanted to mention this week we're going to change it a little bit. Look in the description. That way if you're a fantasy owner just looking for a particular piece like a defenseman or forward, I'm going to put in the description the timeline on where you can find what you're looking for. Also remember to subscribe. That way, let's say today you're looking for a D-man, 2 days from now you're looking for a forward. You can always come back to the video. A little bit easier to find under a subscription than trying to search and find it again. So we'll jump right into it. Some goaltenders. I look at Kaapo Kähkönen. He's 47% owned, and yes, Talbot is back, but Kähkönen's numbers on the season have been better than Talbot's, and while Talbot was out, he went 5-0-1. So I really look at that turning into more of a platoon situation where Kähkönen might actually take over more starts towards the end. So I would definitely take a look at him. Next one, it's kind of similar. Ville Husso of the St. Louis Blues. He's only 29% owned, but he started 5 of the last 8 games. One of those 3 non-starts was the back end of a back-to-back, plus Binnington got lit up again last night. So I would really look at it. In his last 5 starts, he's 5-0. He has 1 shutout, and he stopped 154 of 160 shots. So I could really see him taking away more and more starts from Binnington. So I'd definitely have a look at him. And kind of keeping the theme is Cal Peterson about stealing away starts. He's only owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues, but they did give him that bigger contract, and Quick is on his way out the door. So he's in his last 5 game starts, he's 4-1, has 1 shutout, and McLennan, the coach, is very prone to riding the hot hand, and Peterson definitely has that hot hand right now. Moving on to D-men, I look at Matt Grzelcyk. He's 34% owned. He is listed as day-to-day, so he shouldn't be out long. So definitely keep an eye on him for when he does come back. But in his last 7 games played, he has 1 goal, 8 assists for 9 points. He's +7, 5 power play points, 7 hits, 5 blocks, and 15 shots on goal. So he's definitely bringing up his fantasy value the last little bit, and there's no reason to think he won't keep that going. Similar with Jake Slavin, he's owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues. He plays on the first pairing in that first power play unit. No, he doesn't. He plays on the first pairing, second power play unit. But in his last 8 games played, he has 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points. He's a +5 in there. He has 4 power play points, so over half his production in the last 8 has been on the power play. He has 5 hits, 17 blocks, so a nice amount of blocks in those 8 games too, just in case some of those secondary metrics are in your league, and 11 shots on goal. Also keeping up with Carolina, I really do like their back end. Brady Shea, he owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues. In his last 8 games played, he has 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points, so he's averaging a point per game over the last 8. He's a +4. He has 8 hits, 9 blocks, and 23 shots on goal. So even though secondary stats are over 1 per game, shots being almost 3 per game, it could really add some value for you. Next one is Mike Matheson of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's only owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, but in his last 4 games played, he's really turned it up. He has 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. He's +8, 7 hits, 5 blocks, and 11 shots on goal. Next one, Jared Spurgeon. He's owned in 45% of Yahoo leagues. He's been hurt a bit, quite a bit this year, but in his last 4 games, since he's come back healthy, 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points, so almost 2 points per game. Of course, he's not going to keep that up. Nobody can. But definitely the offensive guy in Minnesota. +4, 3 power play points, 2 hits, 3 blocks, and 10 shots on goal in the last 4, so even averaging 2.5 shots a game, which is nice. Next one is Rasmus Dahlin of the Buffalo Sabres. He's owned in 67% of Yahoo leagues, so his ownership is higher. You still got a 1 in 3 chance of getting him. and he does play on the first pairing and first power play unit. And surprisingly, Buffalo's been scoring a fair bit lately. So in his last 9 games played, he has 1 goal, 7 assists for 8 points, so almost a point per game. -3, but you're in Buffalo, so you're going to have to eat a bit of minus if that is scored in your league. He has 4 power play points, so half his production in the last 9 has been on the power play. 15 hits, which is a fair amount of hits for an offensive defenseman. 11 blocks and 19 shots on goal. Moving on to forwards, I look at Braden Shen of the St. Louis Blues. He's listed as center right wing, so you do get to slot him in a couple of spots. He is owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues, so his ownership is getting up there, but he's not quite there yet. In his last 8 games played, he has 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points, +8, 4 power play points, 9 hits, 3 blocks, and 14 shots on goal. Moving on is Matt Zuccarello of the Minnesota Wild. He's up to 60% owned, finally, because he is averaging over a point per game on the season. In 29 games played, he has 11 goals, 21 assists for 32 points. He's +18, so plus-minus is a factor in your league. It adds even more value. 10 power play points. He has 12 hits, 18 blocks, and 67 shots on goal. Next one's a bit of a dark horse, maybe more of a watch list candidate to see if he can keep it up, but it's Ilya Mikheyev of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's listed as left wing, right wing, so you can slot him in either wing spot. He's only owned in 14% of Yahoo leagues, but that is increased by quite a bit the last little bit. And he's only played 9 games this year, but he has 6 goals in those 9 games, only 1 apple, 1 assist for 7 points, +4, 3 power play points, 6 hits, 3 blocks, and 26 shots on goal. So he's averaging a lot of shots per game, over almost 3 per game. Next one is Ivan Barbashev of the St. Louis Blues. What I like about him, he's listed as center, left wing, and right wing, so you can slot him anywhere in the forward ranks. He's up to 69% owned, so he's just a hair under 70%, which I like to report on. But year to date, 38 games played. He has 15 goals, 19 assists for 34 points, +8, 8 power play points, has 63 hits, 18 blocks, and 64 shots on goal. He's really a well-rounded fantasy player, so I would definitely take a look at him. Next one is Alex Tuck of the Buffalo Sabres. He's listed as left wing, right wing, only owned in 26% of Yahoo leagues. But in his last 9 played, he has 3 goals, 7 assists for 10 points. He's a +4, 2 power play points, 11 hits, 7 blocks, and 17 shots on goal. The fact that he's producing and even a plus playing in Buffalo adds some extra value there. Next one is Barclay Goodrow of the New York Rangers. He's listed as center, left wing, and right wing, which I do like. He's owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues. He's okay on offense. I look at it that he is playing on that second line with Panarin, so you could possibly get some piggyback points there. But he has a nice amount if the secondary stats count. Like, he gets a nice amount of shots on goal, hits, blocks. He wins you some draws. So if that's something you're looking at a boost in your league, definitely take a look at him. Next one is Adrian Kempe, the Los Angeles Kings. He's listed as left wing, right wing. He's owned in 44% of Yahoo leagues. In his last 8 played, he has 4 goals, so averaging half a goal per game, which is nice. 2 assists for 6 points, +7, 2 power play points, 4 hits, 3 blocks, and 26 shots on goal. And it also doesn't hurt that he does play on the top line with Kopitar. Next one is Trevor Moore of the Los Angeles Kings. He's also listed as left wing, right wing, and only owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues. But in his last 9 games played, he has 1 goal, 8 assists for 9 points, so averaging you that point per game. He's been a +10, which is really nice. 1 power play point, 4 hits, 5 blocks, and 25 shots on goal. So gets you a nice amount of shots on goal too. Last forward is Nico Heishier, the New Jersey Devils. He's listed only as a center, but owned in only 29% of Yahoo leagues. And in his last 11 games, he has 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points. So basically a point per game player. Only a +1, but considering New Jersey's season, that's nice that he's not way on the minus side. He has 4 power play points in the last 11, 5 hits, 8 blocks, and 31 shots on goal. So for more of a pass-first guy, he is starting to put some pucks on net, and he has 5 goals in the last 11, which is really nice. Really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're going to be back later in the week with our weekend ads episode, looking at players that are playing Friday and Sunday on those off nights and how to maximize on your player ads to hopefully get you that win. Good luck in Week 15, fantasy owners, and we'll talk to you soon.